You have slain an enemy!
What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. In this video, we are going to talk about the tank hero, Hylos. Hylos has a good set of stun, area of effect, movement speed buff, and healing skills. Our Grand Warden, Hylos, is a tank hero. I consider Hylos as a ganking tank hero, since his skills can definitely slow down and stun heroes for easy ganking. Not only that, his ultimate skill can boost his allies' movement speed and slow down enemies. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Hylos based on my experience. We will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain his skills one by one for further understanding. Hylos passive, Thickened Blood, boosts Hylos' total health points depending on the total mana he receives from equipments and emblems. For each total mana he gains from equipments and emblems, he will gain extra 1.5 points of total health points from it. Meaning, if he gains 500 points of mana from an equipment, he will also gain 750 points of total health points. Also, if his mana is not enough to use a skill, it will consume his health instead to cast the skill. Hylos' first skill, Law and Order, lets Hylos to lock down the target. Enemy hit will be stunned for a second and will receive a certain amount of magic damage. Hylos' second skill, Ring of Punishment, lets Hylos deal damage to surrounding enemies per second. Upon using this skill will be activated until you click it again to deactivate it. When this skill is activated, enemies around Hylos will receive certain amount of magic damage, and will have their move speed and attack speed reduced. The debuff effects can stack up to 10 times. Each stack lasts for a few seconds. Each stack also increases the damage of this skill by a certain percentage. When it is activated, it will consume mana per second. Just click this skill again to deactivate it. Hylos' ultimate skill, Glorious Pathway, lets Hylos create a pathway for a few seconds. When on the pathway, Hylos recovers a percentage of his maximum health per second. Also, he is immune to slowing effects while on the pathway. If you notice the pathway, there is a current on it. The current's direction always goes toward to which direction you casted it. If you or your allies move towards the direction of the current, movement speed will be increased by a huge amount. On the other hand, when enemies move against the pathway or current, they will have their movement speed reduced massively. There are so many items that you can buy for Hylos. You can focus on items that grants defense, mana, and health points to Hylos. For me, I choose to buy items that boosts my health and mana points, movement speed, defense, and damage per second. You can also consider the support tank build if you want to grant additional debuffs to enemies. Considering that what is damage build will let you burn the enemies alive. But let's talk about the Kurumi way further. If you prefer more into roaming, then you can consider buying Courage Mask first. This item grants health points and cooldown reduction. One of its unique attributes grants additional movement speed. One of its unique active skill, Encourage, lets you and allies near you to be boosted with additional movement speed. This lasts for a few seconds. This will also increase your and your allies' physical and magic attack. This unique active skill has a really long cooldown. Another unique passive of this skill is Bravery. This increases your physical and magic attack, physical and magic defense, and your health points and mana regeneration for all nearby allies. Another unique passive of this item is Devotion. This grants you additional gold and experience every 4 seconds. But the catch is, you won't gain gold or experience when killing minions or monsters if a teammate is near you for the first 6 minutes of the game. Another unique passive of this item is Thriving. This lets you gain extra experience and gold with every assist you make. When you are ranked 5th on the gold rank of your team, the gold granted by Devotion is modified and you will now receive 20 gold every 4 seconds. Same goes with the experience granted by Devotion every 4 seconds. You will be granted 35 experience per 4 seconds when you are the 5th rank in the experiencer level department. This is a really good item, especially Hylos is mostly a ganking tank. For your kicks, you can consider Warrior Boots. This item grants you additional physical defense and movement speed. Its unique passive grants additional physical defenses buff on each basic attack received. The physical defense received can stack and can reach to a maximum of 25 points. This lasts for a few moments. You might want to consider buying Clock of Destiny. This grants you magic damage, health points, and mana. Its unique passive grants additional HP and magic attack every 30 seconds, permanently, up to 10 times only. When the maximum stack of 10 has been reached, the hero will receive extra magic damage and additional mana. You can consider buying Oracle. This grants health points, magical defense, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive raises shield absorption and HP regeneration effects by 25%. This can significantly boost your shield generation and HP regeneration. You might want to consider Immortality. This grants you physical defense and health points. Its unique passive lets you resurrect after 2 seconds upon death. This resurrects you and give you 15% health points, and a shield that lasts for a few seconds. This item has a really long cooldown. Lastly, you can consider Dominance Ice. This item grants mana, physical defense, and critical chance reduction. Its unique effect grants cooldown reduction. Its unique passive lowers the movement and attack speed of nearby enemy heroes. The item build for Hylos really depends on the enemy's lineup. So make sure to read each item's description so you can adapt in-game.
Your team destroyed a turret.
One of the best spells to be used on Hylos is Revitalize. This spell summons a healing spring. When you or your allies are in this healing spring, you will restore health every half second, depending on a percentage of your maximum health. It also enhances the shield and HP regen effect you receive. This healing spring lasts for a few seconds. You can also consider Petrify. You can use Petrify to deal magic damage to enemies around you, and petrifies them for a few moments. This can really help you attack enemies peacefully when they are petrified, and let them suffer more time inside your ultimate's area of effect. In my opinion, the best emblem set to be used is the Custom Tank Emblem set. Custom Tank Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a tank. Set Firmness to its max level because it can give you additional physical defense. Higher physical defense means higher durability for you as a tank. Setting Fortress to max level will provide additional physical defense percentage. Higher physical defense means more bonus physical defense you get tenacity to gain additional physical and magic defense. This is triggered when your health drops below 40%. For me, it's the best thing to get since you are a tank hero. Being a tank means you need to absorb damage for your teammates inside team fights. So, you need more defense to be able to stand your ground. Set second skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the damage bonus and the damage per second higher. That means you can deal more damage with this skill. Prioritize first skill less since your second skill is what you need to slow down and hurt enemies. Always upgrade his ultimate skill when available for upgrading. Hylos is one of the easiest tanks to be used, so we really don't have much to say about Hylos. But we will definitely explain our analysis to the farthest extent that we could. Hylos' passive skill is really a good thing for a tank. Increasing your mana will not just benefit your number of usage of your skills, but it will also increase your total health points. The more mana you gain, the merrier. Also, because of this passive, Hylos need not to worry of having 0 mana. Hylos will consume his health points instead of mana to cast skills in case his mana drops to 0. Hylos' first skill is what you need to stun enemies. With the ability to lock down, deal damage, and stun the target. This will definitely increase the success chance of your ganking. Just imagine that you can stun enemies, and your allies will take that opportunity to send the target to his grave. That's really amazing, right? Hylos' second skill is what you need to slow down enemies, with the ability to reduce their movement speed. This will further help your team to have more time on focusing their attacks to the target. Not only that, enemies affected by this skill will have their attack speed and movement speed reduced. Take note that the attack speed and movement speed debuff can stack up to 10 times. Along with that, the damage of this skill also stacks as well. So this is really helpful when you have this activated in team fights. Enemies won't notice that they are being burned to ashes bits by bits. This also uses mana per pulse of this skill. So you might think that this really consumes a lot of mana. Fret not, because of his passive skill. You need not to worry of his mana because you can use your health to cast skills instead. Another thing would be, this skill cannot kill you. This skill will be deactivated when it detects that your remaining health is not sufficient to cast a skill. Just make sure to turn this off when you are trying to escape death. You don't want to help the enemies deal more damage to you. Hylos' ultimate skill is what you need to dive in team fights. With the movement speed boost for your allies and movement speed reduction to enemies. This is the really perfect kickstarter to dive towards the enemies as a team. This pathway also recovers a percentage of Hylos' max health, and makes him immune to slowing effects. This is the best skill to use when your team wants to gank someone under the turret. While everyone has movement speed boost, you also have health regeneration on the pathway. So this will make you more durable even under the turret. You can also use this skill to escape death since it has movement speed bonus. So once again, we are here with our favorite lab rat, Rakuten, to demonstrate to us how the slowing effect of the pathway works. As mentioned on the description, enemies moving away from the pathway will have their movement speed reduced. But to explain a little bit, the enemies will have their movement speed reduced when they try to walk against the direction. So in this scenario, I casted the pathway towards this direction. So the current or the direction of the pathway is going here. So, if Rakuten goes against the direction of the pathway, he will definitely have his movement speed reduced. But if he walks to the direction of the pathway, he will not experience any movement speed reduction. The same goes for the movement speed buff for allies. You or your allies stepping on the pathway will only have movement speed buff if you walk towards the pathway's direction or current. So to use this skill better, it's best to cast this behind the enemy. This way, they have no other choice but to either move away from the pathway or fight while on the pathway. In terms of his combo, we follow a really simple combo for Hylos. There is actually no exact combo for Hylos, but we will show you a scenario in what order we used his skill. First, I waited for the enemies to gather closely to each other before I used my ultimate skill. This way, they will have difficulties on reaching towards us because they have their movement speed reduced. Then, I activated my second skill. Then, I moved towards the target. You can really either go for the marksman or mage. It depends on who is the opponent with the most damage so far that could be a threat. Then, use your first skill into your desired target. Then, I just deal basic attacks while letting them bath in my ring of punishment. If you are using Petrify as a spell, use it at this moment. Then, just use any skill that comes available. If you are using Revitalize as a spell, use this spell while the team fight is ongoing. This can definitely help you and your allies survive. Here is another scenario that you can refer to when using the combos. Additional tip, Even you like it or not, there's a big chance that you will be killing the targets. I know you just want other members of your team get the kill to grant them more gold. But with the damage of Hylos' second skill, killing an enemy target is mostly inevitable. So just have fun watching them fainting here and there, kissing the ground after. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Hylos. This video just guides you on how to use Hylos the Kurumi way. We would like to thank our Wakandian brother, Rakuten, for being our lab rat for this boot camp. You can search for him in-game and tell him how much you appreciate him, willing to sacrifice his pride and honor just to be a test subject. He loves receiving chocolate agates and some Angela dolls or just even likes. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Hylos. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to our channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out the community tab for the giveaway event post. We have our coffee account just in case you want to donate us some coffee funds. Check our coffee link on the description of this video. Please, only trust bootcamp videos from our official accounts. See you on the next Mobile Legends bootcamp. Cheers.